Flash has had a Q&A session with Aaron Keller, the game director of Overwatch 2, for 1 hour, and this video is going to be a much quicker summary of everything that was asked. Let's begin. How is the team feeling about Season 9? Have they achieved their goals, and what is the overall sentiment? Aaron says the team is delighted with Season 9, citing significant community engagement as one of the key reasons for their satisfaction. Given Overwatch's history since 2016, there have been limited opportunities to make substantial changes to core gameplay or its affecting systems. Aaron emphasizes that the release of new content doesn't have the same impact as changes to core gameplay systems, and says there's really only been 3 core changes. 1. The introduction of Role Queue 222 in August 2019. 2. The transition to 5v5 for Overwatch 2's launch, which was October 2022. And 3. The PvP refresh of Season 9, which is February 2024. They initially planned for an annual cadence, but now feel that might not be sufficient. They are exploring the idea of 2 sets of placements per year, possibly semi-annually or every 6 months, paired with another big set of PvP changes, but again, this is not confirmed. Aaron understands balance changes alone are not sufficient to address core issues. Unlike other games, Overwatch lacks certain knobs they can turn to keep the gameplay fresh, leading them to explore different approaches and thus end up with something like Season 9's PvP refresh with the global size change, projectile size change, HP buffs, and the global healing passive. The final takeaway point is that Aaron and the team are not afraid to swing the bat now and do make substantial changes when necessary despite the risks, and despite initial concerns and clickbait articles claiming things like, oh my god, the global healing passive will kill the game. Newsflash, it didn't. How's the team feeling about the new ranked system? Have they achieved their goals, and what is the overall sentiment? Aaron says the team is pleased with the launch of the new rank system, as the primary aim was to ensure players could understand what was happening thanks to the game-by-game percentile changes, along with the ranked modifiers. Aaron says that when players don't understand the system or why their rank is changing, they tend to blame matchmaking and not themselves. They acknowledge that there is more that they can do though, such as bringing back individual rankings on the versus screen, which was a suggestion from the community. In Season 10, however, they do plan to remove the grouping restrictions in competitive, allowing a wider range of players to queue together. There's going to be narrow groups, and they may show those individual ranks there. And then there's also wide groups, and likely they won't show the individual ranks there. But this wide group will allow for things like diamonds queuing with their bronze friends. However, they have implemented safeguards to maintain match quality, and Aaron believes that the match quality will actually go up since there are 2 separate pools now. The team also acknowledges that there is more to be done, and they are gradually introducing more transparent changes. Flats then suggests that they should show more information for demotion protection so you're not confused when you get the volatile modifier and then see a drop of like 40%, which I agree with. It can get confusing when you have to figure out what's happening under the hood. Do you have anything to share about the new streamer mode? Aaron says there will be another dev update video coming soon on their YouTube channel to talk more about it, hosted by Gavin, who helped design it. Aaron didn't want to get into too much detail to not take away from that video airing soon, but the gist of it is that they're adding real server-side anonymity, not just protection from yourself. Do you have any more details about the new Mythic Skin shop and reward system? Aaron says that starting in Season 10, when you progress through the premium battle pass, you earn a currency called Mythic Prisms, and you use those in their Mythic Skin shop to purchase any Mythic Skin from previous seasons, or the brand new one for that season. The choice is yours. Aaron says you will earn enough Mythic Prisms to buy 1 skin and fully upgrade it. A base Mythic Skin will cost less Prisms, so you can get a base Mythic and choose whether you want to upgrade it for more colors or designs. Or you can maybe just get that base and then save those Mythic Prisms for another skin. Flats then mentioned that Hanzo's Mythic had less upgrades when compared to the Mythic Genji, and Aaron said yeah, that would likely cost less Mythic Prisms comparatively speaking. Are there any plans to give the mythic tiers to other cosmetic items such as highlight intros, emotes, etc.? Aaron says he's not going to say no, but he can't answer that at this time, with a big smile on his face. How does the team feel about the tank role? Aaron says that they obviously want tanks to feel impactful and understands that they can feel squishy for 2 reasons. 1, the new DPS passive with the healing reduction, and 2, the style of the game has changed. When both reasons are compounded along with players adapting, it can lead to tanks being hit hard. Aaron concludes it likely has a lot to do with the DPS passive, and they're looking at doing something different for the DPS passive when it's applied to tanks specifically. Aaron mentioned that tank has been the toughest role to balance in Overwatch's history, and the introduction of role queue in Overwatch 1 back in 2019 made the queue times really bad because no one wanted to play the tank role. But with the removal of tank in 5v5, Aaron says they sort of traded one problem for another. Queue times are better, but the role has way more pressure. How does the team feel about the damage role? What sparked the idea for the new DPS passive? There wasn't much said here. Aaron just mentioned that they ideated a lot internally and they're happy with where it's at, as the role, the damage role, has much more impact now, which accomplished their goal of what they wanted the damage role to actually feel like. How does the team feel about the support role? Is it better now than before Season 9? Aaron says the sentiment about support really depends who you're talking to, as they've definitely been kicked down a notch. The team knows supports used to feel oppressive, and that back then, it really should not have been a 50-50 as a damage hero like Tracer or Genji to go up against a support, unless they of course get seriously outplayed. They're hoping that the DPS passive in Season 9 and HP buffs nudged it back in the favor of the damage hero, because that's literally their job. But right now, in Season 9, they do feel the support role is definitely healthier. Has the team considered hero bans? Aaron says there may be a version of hero bans that can work, but there are no plans at this time. However, if it were to be introduced, it would definitely be introduced in a safer way, whatever that means. Is there anything more you can share about Overwatch lore, such as additional stories or animated shorts? Aaron acknowledges that they know their IP and their universe is a big selling point, so he teased a cute little piece for Venture, the new Season 10 hero that's going to be different than things they've done before, and that they're going to start to experiment with stuff like that more often. Additionally, there are also new comics coming up, and for the bigger projects like animated shorts, Aaron says it's too early to talk about anything like that concrete, and he left it at that. Are there any heroes being reworked? Aaron says Wrecking Ball's slight rework is coming soon and will be the next one up. For the future, Aaron teases that they're looking at 2 DPS heroes, and he won't reveal the names because it's not imminent when the changes will come. He'll talk about it when it's ready, but it's definitely sooner rather than later. Is the team considering speeding up the balance patch cycles? Aaron says there's always plans for 2 decently sized patches per season, one at the start and one for the mid-season. They have talked about a sped up cadence, and they've done it actually in Season 9 right now, as there's already been 4 patches, right? One at the beginning, a hotfix patch, a mid-season patch, and recently another hotfix patch. The hotfix patches are not planned, but these small hotfix patches can be something to do more often, such as one final patch to address problematic heroes close to the end of a season. Is there any consideration for putting popular custom game modes into the arcade rotation? Aaron says this is something they've talked about with popular custom game modes. For me, I personally love One Dad versus 11 Kids, but it's actually never been a high priority for them. And Aaron did say that maybe there's more appeal or interest than they thought, if this is one of the questions that Flats in the community want to ask him here, so yeah. Is there any consideration for customizing the lobby screen music and background? Aaron says there are no plans for this at this time. Can you give a hint on the next big thing you're working on? Aaron says it's dangerous for the Overwatch team to announce big things that are going to take a long time, and it seems like he was obviously alluding to the 2019 PvE announcement, so Aaron says he's going to keep those closer to the chest. However, he did bring up again the idea of that mid-year semi-annual PvP refresh again, so it's looking more and more likely if I had to guess. Are you aware of the Zim issues plaguing the console community? And for those who don't know, Zimming is using a mouse and keyboard on console, but you still get the controller aim assist, which effectively makes it feel like a soft aimbot. Aaron acknowledged it. The team knows it's an issue and they're well aware. But if they talk about if or what they're going to do about it, it incentivizes people to start looking for ways around it. And it's a back and forth war in a sense, but yes, Aaron and the team are aware of it. Can we expect to see a roadmap for the next few seasons or more of Aaron on camera? Aaron says yes, they're going to try to film more dev update videos, and that there's already one filmed with Gavin talking about the streamer mode like mentioned earlier. Is there any additional information about the map reworks? Aaron gave some rough answers, but there's actually more revealed outside of this interview with Flat, so I'll just add everything we know so far. Coliseo, the glass is going to be removed. The bridge area will be adjusted so you can no longer stall the robot, and there will be buffer areas to the sides of the spawn area. For Numbani, there's too much distance between the first attacker spawn to the objective, so the spawn distance will likely be adjusted here. Aaron also mentioned that the second attacker spawn is tough, along with a mention of payload speed, so perhaps some adjustments there. For Circuit Royale, the hardest part of the map shouldn't be coming out of your first spawn, which is brutal around that first corner, so something is going to change there. There's also an adjustment to the second attacker spawn area and up that hill. Aaron says it's not even like a 90-degree turn, right? It's like a full 180. You just get shot in the back, so something is going to change there. For Havana, the first attacker spawn is tough, according to Aaron. Didn't say what's going to change, but he said it's tough, so something's happening there. And on third point, he did say they're not going to get rid of that sniper perch on the castle, but it will be nerfed, and they'll look at, additional sight lines and routes. For Dorado, something's happening with the initial attacker spawn area again. Flanking routes are too long, so they're going to look at how to make them more accessible. And this, to me, hints at maybe something's going to happen with this wall behind first point, or even that long route on the right on the second point. Aaron mentioned that the courthouse of the church is tough to crack, and they're looking at some ideas. He said they're not going to go crazy and add a jump pad, though, and this, to me, implies more high ground access in this room, so thank God. Has the team considered a map pick system? Aaron says that they're looking at it, and one idea is that players are presented 3 map choices and vote for 1 out of the 3, and this will give players more control, but he's worried if someone votes out a map but it still gets chosen, they may just rage quit. In any case, this will give them a lot of data on the most popular or least popular maps, and if they were to implement it, it would just be in quick play for now. And I believe that is all that was in the interview. Let me know what you guys think. See you guys next time.